With possibly one of the coolest buildups of all time in video game history, we have finally made it to Cyberstan. And let me tell you, if you drop unprepared, you are going to be chewed up in an instant. This planet is no joke, the new enemies are no joke, so let's talk about some strategies and maybe how to not absolutely get decimated. Tip number one, you see that thing right there on the screen? That is the new Vox tank, and it is an absolute beast. I have seen that thing tank a leveler, I've seen it tank 2 ultimatums, and I know it takes somewhere between 3 and 6 C4 to blast that thing away. So your best course of action is just to avoid it if at all possible. I would say stealth is the way to go on this planet, but once you actually get into the enemy base, it is so tightly packed, I'm not sure that even stealth will keep you safe. So pack up on things that will allow you to disengage, because those tanks either need to be destroyed immediately or avoided at all costs. If you let it just sit there, it is going to barrage you in lasers, and it's going to barrage you in grenades, and it is a bad time. It's so hard to tell what is going to be the most effective tactics here, because there's such a huge mix of things that come in that it's just difficult to deal with it all, and that's how Helldivers should be. I can't praise that enough. A lot of times we have these builds that let you kind of handle everything. You're a one-man army. I don't think that's going to be possible, at least from what I've experienced on Cyberstan, because the enemies are so varied. You've got the cyborgs who will run right up into your face, so you need some sort of like shotgun to keep them off of you. You need a lot of heavy weapons for the huge amount of hulks and tanks and all of that, but you've also got huge swarms of light enemies, so you need a good mix of everything. You definitely need a team of 4. Both of the drops I did not have a full team, and we felt it. You need a wide variety arsenal to take down this huge undertaking. I did really like using the sensor. Like I said, going stealth really helped. But once we got into actual firefights, it seemed unavoidable. It definitely wasn't as powerful as like having the Trident. The Trident turned the cyborg enemies into mincemeat very fast. I really enjoyed having the sensor on me. I mean, I really enjoyed having the Trident on me, but that's a little bit more loud than we wanted. Unfortunately, there you can see they came from behind us, but they're on the side of us. We got surrounded, and now we've got a column to deal with. I definitely should have brought smoke grenades. I definitely think having more stealth would have been helpful here, but again, you need a good mix of everything to really conquer this planet. Another tip I have is those cyborgs you just saw there with his gun shooting at me, they can aim. Unlike a lot of the bots where the aim is, I know they just fixed it, but you can still kind of run by them. No, you cannot outrun the cyborgs. They run faster than you, and they deal more damage than you, and they are more accurate than you. So if you've got one on your tail, the only thing you can do is destroy them. Because if you try and outrun him, he's just going to shoot you in the back until you're gone. So you've got to absolutely destroy them when they are on you, which is really cool. It feels like you're being hunted down by a cyborg, right? The cyborgs feel like they are enhanced versions of us. They are faster, they are more accurate, they are deadly, and that feels so good. But it's also scary. I would not recommend bringing any of your eagles. The 2 missions that I did, there was so much anti-air that I just could not use my eagles at all for the entirety of the mission, because there were so many anti-air emplacements, it just wasn't possible. So I wouldn't recommend bringing any eagles. Same thing with the anti-tank emplacement. Like, I brought it, I probably shouldn't have brought it on a stealth mission, that was probably my bad, but usually on the bot planets, you can put that somewhere up high and you can really like snipe bases and really take them down. But since this is such like a packed in city and there's so many levels, especially with their bases going up and down, I really never found a good place to put it. And even if I found a place to put it down, between all the tanks, the hulks, the Vox machines, I just don't think I would have gotten even half of it deployed before it got destroyed. So I'm not feeling that one as a good stratagem to bring either. The walking barrage definitely did its job. On some bases, being able to throw down the walking barrage was very, very helpful, but of course that angers all the enemies a whole lot. They all come swarming that area, so if you're trying to go stealth, the walking barrage is not good for that either. I haven't been able to try it yet, but I'm honestly thinking that maybe something like the chemical agents warbond might be the most useful here, because there's such huge swarms of enemies. Being able to confuse them might actually be a valid strategy. Same thing with using like the EMS or the smoke, be able to break the line of sight, be able to slow them down and move. I definitely don't think fighting is the way to go, so using some of those crowd control tools I think is going to be the way to go here. I'm also, and this is a lot of theory crafting, I'm thinking the laser is probably not the way to go on this. Like, the laser is always good and also destroys a ton of things. Like, you could definitely devastate a base or two with it, but in such a target-rich environment and everything packed so close together, I kind of fear that the laser would just kind of get confused on melting enemies and not really do what it needs to do, because there's so many enemies. I'm not even sure the laser could take down the Vox machine by itself, honestly. That thing is so tanky. The new leveler did a lot of good. It definitely destroyed huge swaths of enemies like it was supposed to, but that thing is deadly at a close range to yourself, so beware if you're going to use that. Here you can see I attached 3 C4 and it just shrugged that off like it was nothing. Granted, I hit its turret rather than its back. Maybe I should have waited a few seconds and stuck it to the back of it, and maybe that would have made a bigger difference, but those things can tank a punch. One of the cool things that I saw that they just kind of implemented with this also is the cyborgs are able to take control of the automatons when they are near, and it's really cool. Like, you see this leader come up, and then all of a sudden you'll see all the automaton eyes change, and they'll all start glowing like this orange, and then they'll just all like at once turn towards you, and you just have that like, oh, I'm in trouble moment. It feels so cool. If you're going loud guns blazing, I definitely feel like one person in your squad should either have a machine gun or a heavy machine gun. Again, there's a ton of enemies, so having something to mow down large amounts of enemies will definitely be useful. But if you've got one person on machine gun, you need someone with something bigger and heavier for taking out those big targets, because they're very well intermixed. I don't think I would bother bringing any of the melee weapons, as fun and awesome as they are. You get shot down pretty darn fast, so I'm not sure the melee weapons are going to be too effective here. The C4 pack was definitely the star of the show. If you didn't see in the patch notes, this actually happened previously, but it was one of those like undocumented changes, and now it's officially in the patch notes. They upped the destructive force of the C4, so you can actually blast through city walls now. And being able to just run up to things, throw C4 on all the turrets, run away, and blow them up is definitely very powerful, but switching between them in middle combat does sometimes have its flaws and has gotten me killed more than once. I did see a couple people bring some turrets, and the turrets felt very hit or miss. Again, kind of like the anti-tank emplacement. The environment is so bumpy, there's so many walls, there's so many levels, it's so tightly packed that the turret really couldn't be fully effective, because it was aiming at walls, it was trying to shoot enemies on other sides of walls, there was just too much going on. We had this problem also, you can see here, where speaking of enemy variety, there's also flyers, and none of us had really anything to deal with the flyers, and that was obviously a huge problem. Of course, we were only a team of 2, so if we had a team of 4, we'd have more tools at our disposal. So obviously the meta is going to shift and change as people kind of figure this out, and obviously as people get more time in here, they're going to give better recommendations to me. But to start, like I said, don't bring the Eagle. I don't think bring the anti-tank. Don't bring any of the turrets. I think you're going to be bringing the C4 pack. I think you're going to be bringing barrages. I definitely think if someone brings some of the chemical agent stuff, some of the crowd control, the EMS mortar, things like that will be very powerful. And honestly, the smoke, I think smoke's going to make a huge difference here for a lot of people. I might also consider the Blitzer, just because there's so many enemies and you're going to be firing a lot, that having unlimited ammo and stun definitely feels like it might be a powerful choice to have here. There was a few times where honestly I felt like I didn't even want the thermite grenade, that I would have rather had a smoke or a stun or other things, so it's really great that it feels like it's switching things up, and it's really great to have this challenge. It's great to be failing missions again. It feels like this huge impossible undertaking. They've done such a great job of building like the story and building up to this moment. I'm glad it feels epic. It's not too easy. It's not something we're going to crush in a day. It is a monumental task, and it is going to feel so good when we finally take Cyberstan. Good luck out there, Helldiver. As always, thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.